Welcome back into Breakdown. It is a pleasure to have joining us from Paris via Zoom All Blacks coach Ian Foster. But before we let these guys loose, we're going to hand over, because it's kids round, to Antonio and Solomon, the true professionals, with the first couple of questions.
Bonjour, Fozzie. Just checking, are you the kind of guy that I have to ask for the application to the next All Blacks water boy? Because I'm ready for ya.
Yeah, well, you two look in pretty good shape, my friend. So, and I like your French with the bonjour. So, send me your CV and we'll see how we go.
On a more serious note, Fozzie, do you have any plans to maybe coach outside of the All Blacks, maybe for Mags under 15s?
I'd love to get an invite. So,
I'll make sure of that.
Yeah, you make sure. But how's your team going?
Pretty good. Heading strong into pre-season.
Well, good man. We'll train hard, work hard on those skill stuff, and you guys are the heart and soul of our game, so give it heaps.
Yeah, thank you.
So we've got him a new job. Great job, boys. Ian, what is it actually that you are doing in Paris?
I had 2 weeks up here, 2 weekends, looking at Six Nations up here with Jason Ryan and Joe Smith. Was at Twickenham last week, watching England, France, and then Ireland, Scotland at Edinburgh. And then yesterday was in Paris watching France, Wales. In between time, we've had a few meetings with sponsors, gone to Lyon to check our base for the World Cup. And the next 2 days got World Rugby meetings with calibration with referees. So that'll be exciting, eh?
Fozzie, what have you learnt from the Six Nations and how good are Ireland and France?
Yeah, both playing really well. I think, look, the Six Nations is a great tournament. There's a lot of atmosphere around it. And, I think if you look at France particularly, they started quite slow. They had early loss to Ireland. The first 3 games probably didn't hit their straps, but certainly the game at Twickenham and the game yesterday in Paris against Wales, they're a team on the up, and it looks to me like they've really just got one goal in mind this year, and that's to play well later in the year. So very passionate country behind them. It's been amazing how much this country is in France is excited about this World Cup coming up. So it's going to be huge. And Ireland just continue doing what they're doing, playing really efficient rugby. They're big in the big moments of the game. And we saw that again against a pretty rejuvenated English team, I thought. And showed a lot of spirit, but Ireland came back really clinical on that last quarter.
Fozzie, you talk about ref calibrations up there in the north. Now, we've seen some calibrations down here in the Southern Hemisphere with the Super Rugby and speeding up the game and the ability for the yellow card to be turned into a red card. We've seen the ball and play longer, more points, more excitement. Is there any sort of talk up north about that being implemented in the World Cup?
Yeah, g'day, Gus. I've enjoyed what's happening at super level. I think it's been a good product. I think the speeding up between scrums, lineouts, and the trying to eliminate the down period's been positive. Certainly the yellow card to red card flow we have at super level, I think's been really, really efficient in terms of dealing with things quickly on the park. It's another story to get that across the line at World Rugby. I know it's probably going to be a little bit of a debate, and I think there is momentum building, but it certainly won't be something I can't see happening for this year, as is a couple of particularly the new rule about 9s defending at scrums. And I think that's been good in Super Rugby. It's opened up a lot of attacking opportunities or scrums, but again, it's certainly not going to be part of our game when we assemble at the international level.
Fozzie, I've got to ask, obviously there's a coaching interview process happening at the moment, a bit of a saga going on. Don't get me started on that in terms of the timing, but you've been through this before. You've been through the process, you've come out the other end, you're in the environment, you know what's best for the environment. If you're sitting in that interview panel, and you're looking at certain things, what would sway your vote? Is it obviously there's a tactical side of it, but culture also is a big thing. What would get Ian Foster's vote in terms of your successor?
Big question, Millsy. It's you applying or something, my friend?
Oh, I got to. Hey, late incoming.
well, having coached you, you're certainly capable because you used to tell me a lot of things. So it's look, it's a new process. I think I've been pretty open about my views on the timing of this, and quite frankly, I probably want to not spend any more energy on it. So I'm just focused on the World Cup and the people that have made the decisions. They can create their own criteria, but it still remains a special job, a special team. It's multifaceted in terms of what the expectations are out of you as a head coach, and I'm sure hopefully they've thought through all that.
Fozzie, been a difficult time for you, and that's been pretty public, but you've got some staff there that have been there 20-odd years. Difficult time. How are you thinking about refocusing, and have you had a chance to get together with everyone?
Yeah, we had a 2-day management meeting at about 2 weeks ago. We were able to sort of clear the air a little bit and talk about what's happening and I guess the uncertainty. So it's because it has created an interesting vibe in the group. We're a little bit unsure yet what the processes are for communicating with that group, but we're tight. We're really connected. I think the one thing that we need to share with people is that we're 100% focused on this World Cup. And that's all we want to do, and that's all we want to be. And there will be some things happening. Already you're starting to see. I think that Joe Smith announced that he wouldn't be applying. I think Gilbert Anoka's come out and made it a clear decision. There's some people that really wanted certainty early and didn't want to be involved in this process, and there might be a few more.
Fozzie, focusing back to the World Cup, what to talk about is what's transpired over the last 6 to 12 months in terms of international rugby, and I suppose how tightly contested games are, and teams like Italy are coming through, and looking forward to this World Cup. I think it could be one of the most hotly contested World Cups that we've ever had. What's your thoughts on the state of, I suppose, world rugby at the moment, and maybe some possible banana peel teams?
Yeah, look, I think the state of it's strong. I think that we're certainly seeing some massive strength, and we're seeing two powerhouses emerge with Ireland and France, aren't we, Gus? In terms of they're coming through strong, we're going to have a lot of teams that are going to be building slowly in the next 6 months to be right. We've seen that in World Cups before. Oh, look, I think there's always banana skins at World Cups, and they're probably not banana skins anymore, are they? You've seen the effect of like a Japan. They've had a couple of big victories over the last couple of World Cups. You mentioned Italy. Well, I think they've been one of the highlights of the Six Nations. They've been really unfortunate in not getting across the line for a win, and that's probably the next thing for them. But boy, they've rejuvenated their game and playing with a lot of width and fat. And so I see France 2023 is going to be a massively competitive environment. You just got to look at our pool with France and Italy. You look at the Irish, South Africa, and Scotland all in one pool, and that's going to be an arm wrestle as well. So, but that's what that's all about. World Cups are supposed to be tough, and what I'm also excited about is where we're positioning ourselves.
Fozzie, I've got a really, really difficult question for you. I know you've lived in Italy and now you're in France. So, French red wine or Italian red wine?
Well, a cheap bit of advertising. I like that Italian stuff with JK on there. But it is hard to beat a Cote d'Aron, I'd have to say, JK.
Well, go and enjoy one, mate. Although it's only morning, but you can drink in the morning in France.
Waikato draft, Fozzie.
No, thanks. Off to the airport to listen to World Rugby for 2 days. Very excited.
Hey, you have fun calibrating with referees. Fozzie, we really appreciate your time, and safe travels heading back this way as well. Good luck getting a decent cup of coffee in Paris as well while you're there.
Thanks, team. Look forward to it. See you soon.